Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Come
Hello.
on,
Hello.
Nate.
Hi, everybody.
What's going
Hello.
What
on?
up?
Hello.
Awesome. Awesome. Hey,
Happy
welcome.
Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly. Happy Wednesday. It's been a long week, but welcome to Metal Detecting Nation. We appreciate you guys all stopping by. If you're in the chat or watching this on your YouTube subscription, I don't know. I'm so exhausted. Then welcome. We aren't know-it-alls. We just like talking about metal detecting and telling stories, sharing finds, promoting the community. And how's everybody doing? Dave, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. We all know the answers here locally, but the people watching on chat and after this is posted don't know. Did you get out this week?
Oh yeah, we had a great week. Great Saturday for sure.
Yeah,
Very good.
Great
Very
set.
good.
And in a little bit, I want you to share your finds, please, because your finds are phenomenal. Joel, how about you?
Good. Thank you for allowing me to go out with you guys this weekend. It was amazing, and the stuff that we pulled out of the ground is phenomenal, and it's probably going to go down to the best day ever unless we find the same this weekend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll just quickly say it was a great weekend. It was great to find a bunch of stuff, and I know Joel and Dave have talked about this off camera, but it was even better with who we detected with. We were blessed to have my daughter join us. We had Donnie join us. We had someone from New Jersey travel 8 hours to join us as well, and that was Scuba Sonia, and hopefully she'll be here in chat soon. Nancy, how was your weekend? Or your week, I should say.
It was my weekend was great. I went out Saturday with a bunch of other channels. I didn't find anything that great, but they did. There was a Connecticut copper found in our group from Rebecca from Messy Hole. And the rest of this week is just a big blur right now with this whole everything going on in the schools. It's just a big blur, but it's great to be here.
Great. Awesome. Well, congratulations to your group for finding that. It's a pretty cool find. Audra, Rachel, what about you ladies? How are you and how was your week?
We had a great Sunday. Amazing. We got what we get, a Jersey copper. Yep.
Awesome.
It was
Wow.
very good.
Awesome. Well, we would like to welcome to our Metal Detecting Nation both Jeff and Nathan from Rhode Island Relics.
What's up, guys?
So happy that you guys are here, that you guys are with us. We're going to talk some metal detecting stuff. You guys are going to be able to talk a little bit about your event and what's going on with it because of the COVID-19. And but how are you guys doing? Everything going well?
I'm fantastic. How about you, Jeff? I don't know what's going on in your house, but I know a little earlier Jeff was talking about his fiance being sick. So I want to check up on that. How's that going?
We're on the lockdown, dude.
Oh no.
Yeah. State of Rhode Island here. Kind of. I think not just the state of Rhode Island, but kind of everywhere. You know, she's kind of fallen ill starting yesterday. Went to the doctors, kind of sent her home. We're both in healthcare, so it's kind of serious for us when we get sick, you know. And basically, they don't have the tests to give, so they're like really strict about who they're giving tests. So they're like, basically, self quarantine until Monday, and we'll get back to you. So it's kind of crazy. No one has any symptoms other than her. She's just not feeling well. So it's a weird thing.
Yeah, and she's immunocompromised, which was like, I didn't even know she had asthma. So that was like,
yeah, she's got pretty bad asthma. So this is whenever she gets sick like that, it kind of really puts her down for the count. So this is it's not a good scene here. But I mean, before we talked to the doctor today, I got out. I went out digging for 2 hours this morning
right.
before I got that phone call. So,
Well, you're here, so I guess that's
I'm here, kind of.
Yeah, Nathan said that he wasn't expecting you to show up because of some of the issues that you guys were being faced with. Thanks for being here, and look forward to chatting.
Yeah, we didn't know if we were going to have to go to one of these testing sites today or not, but they told us to basically sit tight. So that's what we're doing. I guess a great thing about metal detecting is you can do it alone in the woods like I did today.
Yeah.
So
Or
I
just
mean, you're
be
not
6
spreading
feet away
anything.
from each other,
Yeah,
you know?
I was the only one. I was the only one out there. I was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Good. Well,
That's a good place to be quarantined.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, in some circumstance, if no one was sick here, I'd be like, this is a dream come true. I get to be by myself in the woods.
Forget about everything else that's going on. That's
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
We all love it.
okay, so now we get to all grill you, both of you, and we'll ask you some questions that have to do with metal detecting. And I guess I'll start off first and ask both of you, what was your earliest practice with metal detecting? And I'll add 2 questions in. And what was that, maybe that find that hooked you into this way of life? We're not going to call it a hobby because Nathan said it wasn't a hobby, it's a way of life.
Yeah, well, Jeff, he got me into metal detecting. We were digging bottle dumps, always looking for old bottles and whatnot. And one day randomly just asked me, you want to come metal detecting? And I swear to God, never in my life have I thought, I'm going to go metal detecting. That's what I'm going to do with myself. I used to be a professional musician. That was my life. I was like, yeah, metal detecting. Okay, buddy. And then I went metal detecting. And Jeff will tell you, I was like, something happened in me. It blew me away. I was like, I'm so obsessed with this. My first major find was a barber quarter, and that was it. Once that happened, it was game over for me. I needed to metal detect all the time. It didn't matter if it was winter. And like I was saying to you guys earlier, I've metal detected in blizzards. I've brought shovels and rakes with me to rake out cellar holes so I could metal detect in the woods because I knew that the ground would only be frozen the first 2 inches. So
This
that I
is
would
really
just,
true.
yeah, I'm a lunatic with this metal detecting.
Jeff, what
Yeah,
about you?
I went, well, the first time I went out was, again, one of the guys in our group, Brandon De Silva. We've been friends since, like, I don't know, middle school. And one day I was down visiting my mother in Connecticut, and he goes, hey, man, I got this metal detector. We always liked, hiking around in the woods and stuff. So he's like, hey, let's take this metal detector out. So he had the metal detector. We went up to this, old spot. We kind of saw what looked like maybe like a little mill depression, a little like grist mill depression. And he pulled out an old silver coin. I don't even remember what it was that he pulled out, but I'm like, holy smokes. I'm like, this is amazing. I need to get one of these. I'm like, just, hiking around, pulling coins out of the ground. I'm like, this is for me. So, so right after that, like literally right after that weekend, I'm like, I had to go to get a metal detector. So, and I think, the first time I went out with that metal detector, I was with him again, and we went to this field that used to be a lot of things. It used to be an airport, a racetrack. It used to be farm fields. And I remember pulling some buttons out of there, some musket balls, just stuff from a vast, period of time from what the field was used for. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. I mean, I just basically put a whole history of timeline together off this one field. So I'm like, this is really cool. This is something I want to do. So I've been cracking at it since.
What metal detectors did you guys first use when you started out detecting, and what do you guys use now?
Well, this is tough for me to say. It's not like so I've used a whole bunch of different machines. I always hate to say, because I'm afraid that I'm going to upset any manufacturer if I say whatever. My go-to machine thus far that has found me the most amazing stuff is my CTX 3030. There's no question about it. Oh God, there's so many things I want to say. Like I've done field tests with that machine and other machines. And I mean, I don't want to say, but I will say, the CTX 3030 is a fantastic machine. That was my go-to machine from the get-go. I jumped from an Ace 100. I don't even remember what my first one was, an Ace something.
For
to
400.
to a CTX 3030, and then I mean, I don't know. I found everything under the sun with that thing, so I just kept going with it. And now, with my progressive MS, I use the XP Deus. It's a fantastic machine. It works differently. It's not, the benefit of the CTX 3030 is ferrous, non-ferrous readings. And anytime I dug silver, I knew it would be, a 1247 or higher. So I guess you could say my favorite machine is the CTX 3030 because I know it so well, but don't,
Oh, we get it. We understand. We totally understand. Jeff, what
Yeah,
about?
I think that's the problem when you're involved with, manufacturers and you put on events and stuff like that. You want to kind of give kudos to everybody's machines and kind of, run those machines from time to time. So, you have some kind of talking point about it. I will say, without going through a whole string of machines, because, I had a whole bunch of junk machines and then I kind of, eventually I just started stepping up and stepping up and stepping up. I think that's what a lot of people do. But I put a lot of time on my Garrett AT Gold. I really enjoyed that machine. I still use it quite often. However, now I use the Nocta Amphibio. And I've had a lot of good luck with that machine. I like the way it runs. So yeah, that to me, that's the machine I enjoy using the most right now. Even though like Nathan said, we get a lot of machines through our repertoire. So we get to play around with a lot of stuff. But that is my go-to machine.
So
Right,
Jeff,
sorry to cut off. I just want to say this real quick while I can. I do want to say the Simplex, and I don't care what anyone says. I field tested this machine. I've done everything with this machine. That Simplex is ridiculously amazing for depth. I don't care what anyone says. I mean, I've pulled 22 inches down. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is a $339 machine. That is not normal. When you're rocking a $2,500 machine, you use a Simplex at $339 and you're pulling a 22-inch signal. That's not normal. That's not like something that happens. So I just wanted to mention.
Hey Jeff.
The Simplex is a ridiculously good machine for the price. I will.
Right.
I'll give it that nod too.
Hey Jeff, I just started using the Amphibio. So I'll have to pick your brain on some stuff, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say I love it. Not that I didn't have good luck with other machines. It's just it seems like with this machine, I've gone back over some areas I've hit, and I'm pulling a lot out. Which makes me scratch my head sometimes. I go, whoa. So either it was either the machine error or the user error, and I'm not saying that I'm the best metal detectorist because I'm a lazy metal detectorist. I like to call myself. So it's quite possible I just went zipping over. I'm like Speedy Gonzalez out there.
He is the laziest metal detectorist of all time. I have never seen a lazier metal detectorist in my life. He's just like
I'm not the well, maybe
right here.
I like to cover a lot of ground real quick. So someone would see like a 5 or 6 acre field, and they'd be like, I'm coming to this field for weeks. I'm like, dude, I'll be done in 3 hours.
That sounds like me. That sounds like me. So we have a lot in common there.
oh my God, guys. I'm like,
I'm good. I'm done with it in 3 hours.
I make a 25-foot box and I will work that entire box north, south, east, west, diagonal, every single way until it's done. And then I'll move on. So I could be in the same cornfield for 6 months. I mean, it's proven because I've been going to the same cornfield now for years and I still find stuff. I just went there the other day and I got 2 large cents and a bunch of buttons. But it's just going low and slow, man. And I want to find it all. So that's why I'm like weird about it,
We tried to do that.
Yeah, we try, and
Then we wander.
Yeah,
when you guys came here, you were gone.
Jeff is a wanderer.
Yes.
Jeff disappears into nowhere, which is why he has to wear that crazy yellow sailor jacket. because
You
the
both
only
disappeared.
oh yeah, no, I disappear. I disappear, but then I start a pattern somewhere, you know, and I'm like, oh God, I got to follow this pattern. Whereas Jeff, he'll just disappear in general. Like you have no idea where he is. And then I'll have to call him on his cell phone. I'm like, hey man, are you still within like a 5-mile radius? Like, I don't know where you are.
We've done it.
That just
That's
happened.
me.
Again, I was out with Brandon this last weekend, and we went to like a nature preserve somewhere. I don't know if it was a nature preserve. It was like walking trails, you know. And we went out there because we kind of Google Earth it and saw some old stone walls and what looked like foundations. So we went out there and we came up to a clearing, and sure enough, you know, I just zipped left and I started yakking with some old dude next to a tree, you know, and we were having like a 15-minute conversation. And then, you know, I just started wandering. And then, you know, probably about 20 minutes later, I'm like, hey, no one is around.
That's Jeff's
So I had
story.
to, you know, I start the hoot and holler, you know, where are you? You know, but it's
That's
me.
the part.
I'm
That's
the
when you
wanderer.
find your best find too, and nobody's around to
Yeah,
show
and then
you.
no one's there to
Right.
say, you're like, no, this is real. This happened to me, you know.
Mhm.
That's how I saw that Sasquatch. No one believes me. Not true.
Oh man.
So, what's your all-time favorite find that you ever found? Like,
Me or Jeff?
Both.
Jeff probably got something cool. I don't know. My favorite find of all time, and I mean, I've always said this from the get-go, my 1867 $3 gold coin I found in Woodstock, Connecticut. No question. That is by far the greatest thing I could ever possibly come across. And I cried like a baby. I was like, what? You got to be kidding me. I was digging aluminum cans throughout the entire yard because with zero discrimination on the CTX and whatnot, you just constantly dig everything. You know, I always wanted to find whatever I could. I got a great signal. Actually, oh my God, I don't even know what machine I was using. Never mind. I said CTX 3030. I think I was using an AT Pro. But anyways, definitely my favorite find, 1867 $3 gold coin in the front of this lady's house in Woodstock, Connecticut. I showed her the coin after they kicked us out. It had been about 15 minutes. And she said the church thought it was too loud. So she kicked us out and I showed her the gold coin. And I was like, I got this gold coin in your property. And she was like, oh, it's beautiful. Congratulations. And I was like, so I can just have it.
I can keep it.
I can keep it. I'm gonna go with it. You know, it's like crazy. So yeah, that was definitely my favorite find of all time when it comes to currency.
That's awesome find.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. And you know who has it now? Tom Shibley.
Tom, Treasure Tom.
Treasure Tom. I donated.
We were there.
I donated it to the second Pound the Ground and he found it.
Yep.
People are like, what are you crazy? Like, why would you donate that thing? And the truth is, it's like, I don't know, over the course of time, you're just like, you find these bucket list items and then they're off the bucket list and someone else will love it and appreciate it. And Tom is the best person to have it because I know he's going to keep it and appreciate it. You know, he's like,
treasure it. He was
yeah, he's
showing
going to treasure it. And
everybody.
he's been a support for Pound the Ground from the beginning. And that guy is just awesome. He's coming to our event in England. He's just awesome. He's such a good person to be around. And now he has my very first gold coin. Crazy.
That's cool.
That is
That's
so
cool.
cool.
It is very cool, dude. What about you, Jeff?
So I'm not a huge coin guy. I mean, I find coins all the time, and I'm not that's something that does not excite me actually. So I am not out looking for coins. I am more of a relics guy, and for those that know me, I am a huge comic book nerd. So anything to do with comics and anything like that, like really floats my boat, I guess. So my favorite find is actually one of them anyway, is this little ditty right there, which is Captain Midnight secret decoder pin.
You gotta show that again.
from a very old comic.
Yeah, Jeff, show it again.
You gotta show that again.
That's so cool.
There, right there.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is
No, go back,
awesome.
Jeff. The
That's
detail on that. Go
awesome.
back to the detail. It looked
Yeah, go
awesome.
back again.
Hold it
We
Yeah,
wanna
still.
you can see
again.
it great.
Jeff, put it
Put it
back.
back up there.
Want to
What
see
would
the
have went in
detail.
the middle, Jeff?
Yeah.
Nothing?
Yeah, it's missing the little centerpiece, unfortunately. I wish it had it.
Oh,
But when
that's
I
so
found
awesome.
that, I was like, I was super stoked because I'm like totally comic related, and I don't know, it just made my life that day. I was like, wow, this is
Yeah,
awesome.
Jeff.
Because when I go out and detecting, I would like to find things that I might buy in a antique store. So if I went to an antique store and I was going to buy an antique, that's essentially what I want to find out in the field. So I want to find something like that. So whenever I find like these comic book related items or old like serial comic things, I'm super stoked. That totally makes it for me. So, and I'm not scoffing at silver. I'm not scoffing at anything like that. Believe me, everybody likes silver, but you know, for me, I like the historic things, and you know, especially the comic book related things.
And Tootsie Toys. If Jeff finds a Tootsie Toy, his entire day is like the most incredible day. Any Tootsie Toy.
I have a lot of those little Tootsie Toys, and they are a real challenge, man, to dig out of the ground because they are like super small, and they ring up real weird. So when I get those things, man, whoo, am I happy.
That's awesome. We love that.
I love Tootsie Toys too, but I'll take a gold coin over that all day, Jeff.
Hey, Joel found a gold coin this weekend.
Go and buy a lot of
Did you really? Joel, you found a gold coin? Oh, the fake one.
Oh, yeah, the prank coin.
Oh, I would cry. I would cry if I thought I was digging a gold coin. I mean, once I was at this park up the street from the office space here, and it was like a European coin, but it glowed like gold when I dug it. I like nearly lost my mind, and it turned out to be like, you know, nothing, just garbage. But I was like, no, this is the most incredible thing. It's supposed to be amazing, but it wasn't. It was terrible.
Yeah, that was
I found
horrible.
a Real or something once, and it was a pull tab.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Did you see my video the other day? I did this whole long video
Yes.
intro where I was just like, are you guys ready for this amazing find that I found? 10 inches deep, amazing. And it was a pull tab, no joke. I was like, I spent so much time digging for the thing. I was like, there's no way that this could have been a pull tab. And it was a pull tab, 10 inches deep in a cornfield that I found amazing stuff in. Oh,
So I guess we probably should kind of clarify Pound the Ground Light and what's going on with it real quick, so
yeah.
that people who are watching live and responding in chat and or watch it back on YouTube can kind of understand what's going on. So either of you can describe or explain what the status of your event is right now.
Jeff, you want to take this? No? Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we
All
can
right,
hear.
fine, I'll take it because Jeff didn't respond. So Pound the Ground right now.
Yeah, sorry, you guys kind of cut out there for a minute.
All right, well, Pound the Ground is on, we're just waiting until this crazy COVID-19 thing gets situated. We were really gonna run this thing no matter what. We had said over and over again, like, everyone's canceling their events, but we'll keep it because it's an outdoor event, and we'll make sure that everyone's safe and whatnot. But the reality is it came down to the CDC saying no more than 25 people, and that was game over for us. We couldn't do that. I mean, like, we've got more than 25 people, obviously, so we couldn't run the event. On a positive note, we were able to clear the entire ET forest. The property that we have is absolutely incredible. Dates back to the 1700s, and it's not just 1700s property. It is literally on the oldest road in Rhode Island. It is what's it called, Boston Neck Road, Jeff?
I think Jeff's having some issues, maybe.
Can anyone hear me? I
Yes.
don't know.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Fine, I think it's
Yeah.
just Jeff.
All right, I think Jeff might be, Jeff, are you back?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so what I was just saying was that this property that we're having the event at is ridiculously old. It is one of the oldest farms in Rhode Island and also on one of the oldest roads in Rhode Island. So the property is going to be incredible. And we actually think that it's to the benefit of the public that we're going to have to postpone, because it gives people more of a chance to participate. I mean, at least that's what I think. And we certainly have more than enough silver going in the ground for the event.
Yeah, we got plenty of stuff. I mean, I'm certainly bummed that we had to postpone because just the landowner herself was and her husband were doing just a ton of work for us. Just clearing a bunch of stuff on the property. We went out there, cleared a bunch of stuff on the property just this last weekend. So yeah, I really wanted to see this happen just because of the amount of work we put in right now. But it will happen, and obviously all this stuff's got to work its course.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you're going to be able to run the event, and you're in the same boat that everyone else is in. So it's not exclusive to you.
Right.
Everyone's just going to have to relax and chill and be patient, because it's not only a metal detecting event that's postponed. Look at the whole world and what's happening with Major League Baseball and the
Right.
NBA and all this stuff. I just want to reiterate that it'll happen. It's just going to be delayed. And I know there was an issue. I think a little issue with some people wanting refunds and things like that. But but I not to kind of bring up a bad thing, but I just want everyone to understand, like, this event's going to take place, and from what I understand, it's going to be a knockout, awesome event.
Of course. I mean, the reality is this, is that I did expect people to start requesting refunds. Now, the reality was this, is that the original event was going to take place April 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So then people started reaching out being like, well, I need a refund right now then, because the event is now postponed. And I'm like, no, because the original date was the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And we told everybody, we will give you a refund up until 1 month before the original date. And I get it. Everyone's struggling right now, and it's a real tough time with money and whatever. But like Jeff can tell you, we put that money in the ground, man. I can't even tell you how much awesome we have for this event. Like, I had to end up buying machines because this coronavirus really scared a lot of people away, and we would have got a heck of a lot more machines from our exclusive sponsor, Nokta. But I mean, we just couldn't do it, man. So I had to buy a bunch of machines as well. I had to buy digging tools from Black ADA out in England, like ridiculous amounts of stuff. Now, we in no way, shape, or form are questioning how much stuff is going to be at this event to give away. Like Jeff can tell you, it's crazy. Some of these ET coins, one round is $60.
Wow.
One round.
Yeah, there's certain things that we got for this event that we wanted for this event because what we're doing. So we have some collectible things and so forth, like some collectible coins and things like that that are up there just because they're super collectible, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's to the point where the group and I were basically like, listen, Mr. Nathan Matthews, you need to stop spending money.
This here is this is an ET set. This is a collector's set. It is in like prime condition. Let me show you this thing. It's insane. It's in prime condition. Like, there's no nastiness to the box. That's like almost impossible to find. I bought it from Canada. Bam. Look at that beauty. Still like in perfect condition. And then these beautiful silver coins inside. Woo-hoo. Like what?
That's nice.
They're just beautiful. They're absolutely amazing. And there's 4 of them and everyone's going to love them and it's not going to be a big deal. But, you know, people just got to understand, like, we didn't have any control over the coronavirus. That's not something that, you know, Jeff and I didn't plan the coronavirus. At least Jeff, I'm pretty sure you had nothing to do with that.
It's to be determined.
Oh my God.
So switching subjects, I want to know what the Rhode Island Relics Club is like. How many members do you have?
Oh, we're weird, man. We don't like, so the reality is this, is like, and I've been saying this from the get-go, is like, we got a lot of people interested in joining the club, but it's really, really hard with the massive amount of people that want to be part of the club to put together a meeting. We've been talking about putting together a meeting for I don't know how long. And every single time we put together a meeting, I've got 85,000 people that are like, whoa, that doesn't work for me. That day doesn't work for me. How can I make this work? I'm like, you know what? I don't know anymore. You know, like I'm at the point now where I'm like, I really, really want to run a meeting and we really want to do something smaller on a smaller level and just get involved with everyone that follows the Rhode Island Relics. But if they can't make it, they can't make it, man. I can't make magic happen. I try very hard, but how many times have I had to cancel a club meeting, Jeff?
It's been a lot. I mean, the thing is, it's funny for us because we have Rhode Island Relics, you know, where it has that club designation, because we're pretty much open to going out with anybody. You know, we're
Right.
always out metal detecting, we'll join anybody, and anybody's really welcome to join us. It just, what ends up happening is we end up getting tied up into the pound the ground stuff. So, you know, there's a core group of us that kind of put on this the pound the ground events and are kind of part of that team. So you know, it's funny, like even if as a club, you know, when we're gearing up for these events, we're kind of like, we're out of luck, man, because all we're doing is stuff for this event. All of our meetings are about the event. All of our days out are pretty much setting up an event, talking about an event. Maybe we get a little detecting in. So, you know, our club aspect of things is not very glamorous. You know?
Well, I know that you have a well-respected Facebook page, and I think, Nancy, you put that up there, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, people should definitely go out and take a look at the Rhode Island Relics Facebook page. And now you guys also have a business selling detectors and metal detecting equipment, or is that Nathan, or how does that all work?
That is Nathan. Nathan is the detector salesman. So we kind of have our own designations within the group, I suppose. So Nathan really wanted to, you know, sell metal detectors. I'm like, I'm into about 1,000 things. So I'm like, I don't really think I have the time in my life to sell metal detectors. So he does all the metal detector sales.
Right. I work with Nocta Macro. I work with Mind Lab. I work with Garrett. I work with everyone, basically. Basically, I try to push the product that I believe in. I mean, I know that sounds ridiculous and cliche, but it's true. I mean, I won't sell anything that I couldn't personally vouch for. I've never used certain equipment. I won't say what it is, but I've never used it because it's not for me, you know. I was a huge Mind Lab user, CTX 3030 from the get-go, right after my Garrett's, you know, and great machines. I got nothing bad to say about any of them. And right now I'm using the XP. I'm using it because I have progressive multiple sclerosis and I need to be able to swing for more than 20 minutes. And, you know, that CTX comes in at what, 11.7 pounds with a 17-inch coil on it. Yeah, no, dude, I'm good now. Now I need an XP Deus because it's like 1 point some odd pounds and it's so easy to swing for hours on end. So
Yeah, we ordered our simplex off of you.
Yeah. So
Very fast shipping.
we could vouch for the Rhode Island Relics products because we got it super fast
Yeah.
and a very good price.
Well, that makes me very happy because,
That's
people
what it's all
are
about.
like, everyone's trying to make bank, man. It's all about money in this industry. And like, I don't even care. The truth is like, I don't know. I sort of like knowing that all the people that I love from metal detecting are happy, and that makes me happy. So I don't know.
Yeah, now we need,
Jeff's got an awesome machine, that Amphibio.
I like my Amphibio. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. You know, the Nokia products are great. I mean, I think, with any manufacturer, there's certain glitches or things go wrong from time to time. So, you know, are they, any better built or any, it depends on who you ask. Everybody's either like, oh, it's the greatest thing or the worst thing, or, people are very loyal to their brands, I think, when it comes to metal detectors. So I think that's the one thing that I've noticed, that people are like, a lot of people are real hard pressed to make a switch or try something different. There's got to be some real compelling evidence for them to say, yeah, I'm going to go try that new brand.
Have you guys noticed that so say you started with a particular brand, right? That brand is what you found all your favorite stuff with. Because when you started metal detecting, all your favorite stuff is with your first machine. Everybody knows that. So when you switch machines, it's always tough to be like, really comparing it, because that feeling of like just dedication to that first machine is always going to be there. So it's always tough for the competitor to compete with the first machine you ever used. I mean, it's tough for me. Like I said, CTX 3030, once I learned that machine has 50 tones. I was just like zero discrimination with that thing all the time. I just understood it. And then any machine after that has been real tough for me to use because I got so used to it. But that doesn't mean the other machines aren't good. I mean, if you've ever used an XP Deus, Jeff, you're upside down.
Jeff,
I know. I'm trying to plug in my phone.
Hey, he's doing a Joel.
getting
Yeah.
dizzy.
So what I'm
I
saying
know.
is like the XP Deus, I'm using that right now. I'm not gonna lie, it's a great machine. It's a great machine, but it's not a machine that I'm used to. I'm not used to running an XP Deus. It's very different for me. Now I do, with all my time with it, I've really started to understand when I'm in a trashy area, and I mean super trashy area, it'll ping on the best signals. Like really incredible. Let me see what I have here. Give me 1 second. I just want to pull something up or whatever. I don't know where it is. Dang it! But this signal that I got the other day with the XP, I mean, I have metal detected this property over and over and over again, and I was like, I'm never going to find anything in this property. And this XP picked it up, man. It was this really awesome old pendant. And it has the date of 1572 on it, but it's not. I mean, it's obviously a remake of that time, but I don't care. It was awesome. Had the front and back of this beautiful 1572 metal pendant thing or whatever. And the XP picked it up at like 12 inches deep, man. And it's like, I can't talk garbage about any other machine. The truth is that these companies are really putting their best effort, into these machines to try to make them incredible. And it's a really competitive market, Nocta Macro with the simplex. Everyone was like, this is a joke. It's not a joke, man. I don't care what anyone says. I use the machine. I used the CTX 3030. I've used an XP Deus. I've used a Garrett. I've used them all. I've used a whole bunch of different things. And the machine just, that simplex is killing it, man. I don't know what to say, but like, people expect, with price points and whatnot, that you're paying for the absolute best. And the reality is I've been able to pull stuff with that simplex just as well as my CTX 3030. So I mean, from a seller standpoint, what am I supposed to say? You know, like what I love Mind Lab, of course I do, but I also love Nokta, and I also love Garrett. What do you know? I mean, I don't know what to say, but you know, it's a really competitive market, and I don't know why I started on this diatribe about all these things that I'm saying right now.
I just want to know if you still love me.
Yeah, I apologize. I mean, I just, it's stressful to me to think about, you know, we all love metal detecting, guys. It's like, whatever machine makes you comfortable is what you should be using, you know? Don't, you know, don't trust one brand over the other, whatever makes you comfortable. They're all building great machines.
And you know, we went out the last weekend and we had a Simplex and Amphibio. We had a 3030. I have a Equinox 800, and Dave runs the AT Max or Max, right?
Max.
Yeah. So we had 5 different machines running out there. Everyone's finding good stuff. You
Right.
got to put your coil over it. It's just whatever you're comfortable with, the visual, the tones,
Right.
You know. So I do have a question for you that is in regards to all the different machines. You are a dealer. Obviously, Jeff's very well skilled at all the different machines as well. What do you guys think the newest technology may be out there for metal detectors? I've asked some other people. I know that the recovery speed is a huge game changer in my opinion. But what do you guys think about technology and what's happening with some of the detectors?
Well, for me, multi-frequency, obviously, you know, everyone talks about multi-frequency. And yeah, man, multi-frequency has been used for a very long time, well before the Equinox. So I don't understand, you know, why people are so blown away by this, you know, this new thing. It's not a new thing. They've used multi-frequency for quite some time. Now, I do think the Equinox 800 and the 600, those things are beasts, man. There is no question about it. You find a piece of silver on its side, you're going to find that with the Equinox way better than the CTX 3030. And that is from my personal, you know, I've been there. My buddy David went over a 2 real, and I got barely any signal because it was on its side. And I was using a 17-inch coil CTX 3030, no question. I got barely a blip. And I go zero discrimination, very slow, very low, like just as slow as possible. He went over it with the Equinox 800 and he got a 27, repeated 27. And he dug that hole and it was a Spanish 2. And I did not get it with my CTX. So, you know, and I'm not saying anything bad about the CTX. I love the machine, but it's the same company, you know, Mind Lab and makes Equinox. It also makes the CTX 3030. I do believe that silver on its side with this multi-frequency technology, as more than 2 channels anyhow, makes for fantastic machine. But I also believe that with an AT Pro, you also could have gotten the same thing. You'd get a little bit less of a signal, but that AT Pro is a beast out in the field. I don't care what anyone says.
That's what I love, the AT Pro.
Right. It's a fantastic machine. So, you know, it's like, it's really to each his own. If you're willing to listen, really listen while you're metal detecting, you're going to find the stuff, man. There's no question about it. So as far as the technology goes, what I'm waiting for, the new CTX 3030, you know, whatever that is gonna, you know, when that comes out, I only want it because it's like a 72-inch TV. You know what I mean? It's like, I love watching a movie in my house on a massive TV, and the CTX 3030, the upgrade for it is supposed to be absolutely incredible. And if they change the screen and they also make it a multi-frequency machine, and they still have ferrous, non-ferrous readings, and they have these massive coils, and they make it a lot more lightweight, I'm going to use that machine until I'm dead. You know, I love just the idea of it is incredible. So that's where I stand with technology. How about you, Jeff?
My whole thing with technology is always the how much technology do you actually need? Because I mean,
Right.
a lot of the stuff they're packing into these machines, you know, they're features I don't even touch. You know, I'm not even using them. So I'd rather have a machine that works well than that's full of bits and bobs and, you know, fancy buttons. That's kind of where I'm at. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, I respect it.
I mean,
first-
dude,
The first time I picked up the XP Deus, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, do I have to be a scientist to use this machine? I'm not really understanding.
Yes. No.
You know?
yeah, I mean, you know, the few times I used your CTX 3030, Nathan, I was like, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, like, so, you know, if you like a lot of stuff, you know, there's certain machines that are better than others. I mean, I don't like all that stuff, man. I want to turn it on and go. I want it simple.
Yeah.
Is that beeping at me? Yeah, all right. I don't dig that.
Yeah.
I don't need to GPS it, man. I just wanna dig it. I'm not coming back later. I'm gonna dig it now.
All right.
You know,
So I have a
that
couple of
GPS
questions, but I'm going to let the panel ask some questions.
Well, Mike Mallyman in the chat has been asking like 10 times. Emmett Lyman 24 would like to know what each of your white whales are.
Ooh, Jeff, I know what Jeff's is. I know what Jeff's is. We talked about this earlier.
Jeff, tell us.
Your white whale. I know what your white whale is. I can literally show you one of the many that I have that you do not get. Let's see if I can.
Yeah,
I see a
that's the
number.
only coin I want.
2 cent piece.
Well, let me see if I can
It's,
take it out of here.
A 2 cent piece. That's the only coin I want is a 2 cent piece. Just purely because I think it would make an awesome tattoo, and I won't get it tattooed on me until I have one.
Oh, that's a cool
That's cool.
thought. I like that.
Where you get the front or the back, Jeff?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh,
I like it with the you showed up there, Nathan. I like it with
hold
the
on.
little
I'm trying to show it with
that's
the.
the part I would have.
You can't really see the detail, but
Yeah,
it's
you really
pretty
can't.
incredible.
No, it's hard to do.
But until I dig one, it's
Thought
game
for a
over. Yeah,
second.
that's the one. It's the one coin I want. You know, I don't have any. You know, there's not any real coins on my hit list, but that one.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I
yeah,
know
that's
what my
definitely-
white whale is, and it is not a coin. My white whale has got to be a powder flask.
Oh, yeah.
I have never found one, and I see all these people posting them. Like, you got to be kidding me. Where do you find this powder flask? And I've got a whole bunch of awesome stuff from that era, but I've never found a powder flask. So that's my white whale, without question. Or like a, another gold coin. I'll take one of those.
I gotta be honest with you though, even more than the 2 cent piece, what I would like to find are some of those really like cool old pencil holders that used to be made out of lead, and they were like crazy little things like animals or bunny rabbits or like an Indian head or something like that, and you used to put your pencils in them back in the day. I've seen a few of those at antique stores going for buku bucks, and I just think they're so cool, and I'm like, I'm never gonna buy this, but I will dig it one day. Doesn't matter. It could be a panda. I don't care. I just want to dig one.
That's awesome.
Well, I guess let me interject here and just kind of tell everybody that if you aren't familiar with Metal Detecting Nation and you want to just kind of see who's coming up on Metal Detecting Nation, we actually have a website real quick. Stupid plug here. You can go to the stream calendar, and at the stream calendar, you could go ahead and watch all the replays that we've done with some very familiar faces. Actually, several of them are on our panel and in the chat. Last week, we were really fortunate to have Matt, and I'm sorry I missed that one. This week, obviously, Jeffrey and Nathan are here. Jason's next week from Quarter Hoarder. Pete's coming on.
Oh, nice.
And we have Deej. And I'm hoping Deej is okay. I did see a little image of her having some issues. So prayers out to her. Hopefully she's doing better and doing well. But just wanted to kind of update everybody on what's happening here in the next couple weeks. So any other questions? Yes, yes, yes. We are going to have an after party. I will post the link with about 2 minutes left to go in our hour. And you can go ahead and you can join Nathan and Jeff and the rest of the panel live. We won't be streaming, but we will definitely be in our Brady Bunch appearance here, whatever you want to call it. You can come on the after party, hang out, have fun, talk metal detecting, and share a bunch of your finds. I got some pictures and some finds. My daughter found her first silver. I'll share in the after party. And I have a selfie, I guess you'd call it, with Scuba Sonia. And definitely will share that as well. So let's continue here. I apologize for the plugs.
So what was the beginning of Rhode Island Relics? Who
Uh,
was-
Jeff, you want to take this? You want me to take it?
Yeah, well, so Nathan and I were digging the bottles at one point, and we were like, we should start a bottle digging club because we were going to town there. And what would
Bottle Brigade, Rhode Island Bottle Brigade.
Rhode Island Bottle Brigade. So we were like, this is a Rhode Island Bottle Brigade. We're hot to trot on some bottles, man. And then when Nathan got his hands on the metal detector, I remember this conversation. He's like, we should start a club. And I'm like, why do you think people want to hang out with us? So Rhode Island Relics became a club. And I think the first time we ever really got together at a club was when we were at that farm, Nathan, in
Uxbridge.
In Uxbridge.
Yep.
Was the first time that we kind of had like a group hunt. And at that point, a lot of our core members kind of came together. A lot of the guys that we do and gals that we do our events with, the Pound the Ground. So that was kind of the springboard for Rhode Island Relics. The other, I guess, manifestations of things, the Pound the Ground events that came out of Rhode Island Relics. That was definitely a Nathan thing with the I want to do an event, and I was like, no. Yeah, I was like, no, this is a horrible idea. And it's still a horrible idea. We have fun, but yeah, it's not something that I wanted to do. That Nathan was like, yeah, let's do this. So yeah, that was all Nathan's, like, let's do this, let's do Pound the Ground, let's make this happen. So yeah, now I'm full tilt involved in Pound the Ground. But it's a lot to do. But that was a Nathan brainchild right there.
Yeah, I don't think many people realize how much effort goes into putting on these events. And like, sorry, my phone's ringing, guys. Sorry about that. No one really realizes the amount of effort that goes into putting on these events and the nightmare that ensues afterwards. You can be, when you attend the event, be very thankful for all the hard work and effort that went into it, or be the guy that goes, I got nothing. I got nothing. I'm like, listen, man, you've been metal detecting for 15 minutes. You got nothing? I'm like, I metal detect for 12 hours and get nothing. So, I mean, it's just reality. It is what it is. You can't really control it.
It's either people love the events or they hate the events,
Right.
and or the way that an event is, because clearly, there's so many ways to do something. So, I'll have people message me or get, in touch with me, and they're like, well, I don't understand, why the ticket's this or why it's this, or, we have events, everybody brings a potluck dinner and you pay $15 or something. And it's like, well, that's awesome, man. You should totally do that. When we're doing the Pound the Grounds, we're looking for something completely different. So, we want either a large scale thing. We get a lot of manufacturers there, a lot of giveaways. We want a unique thing. We want a unique spot. So we are constantly trying to twist what's normal into something a little different than people have seen. So kind of once we've done it and we've done an interpretation of something, we're going to move on to something else and do it differently. And I mean, this for you, Nathan, is this still your last pound the ground?
So as of right now, that's the thing I've been, a lot of people have been asking me about that. So, my ultimate idea, and I'm sure you understand this, is, so I've got this progressive disease and I always talk about it, and people, they don't really understand, but, the amount of stress that is involved in putting on one of these events, I can't, Jeff knows, Jeff might be the only person that would know. The amount of stress involved in putting on one of these events really makes it terrible for me with my MS. Like, I am like, some days I wake up and I can't walk and I can't talk and I can't do your typical things. And I'm like, I know it's based on the stress from these events. Now, a part of me also absolutely loves doing the events. There's something like, I know the CT hunt coming up, when we actually get it done, is going to be something no one has ever seen in their life. It is no metal detecting event they've ever seen. And the amount of stuff that we have going in the ground, it's just going to blow people away. And,
I'm building a spaceship, man, a huge spaceship.
Yeah, Jeff is actually building a spaceship. So like,
So
The huge
cool.
UFO comes.
our
Is it
weird
being-
obsession,
I am very upset that this got postponed because there
Going
is
in that
an
spaceship.
8-foot UFO in my basement and it needs to go.
Yeah,
It needs to get out of there, man.
right.
Plus, I got ET living here with me, and he sucks.
Well, I think I haven't decided, honestly, what I want to do. I've had a lot of manufacturers talk to me and say, pound the ground is a huge, it's a huge thing for us. Like, it's good sponsorship for them and whatever. And like, I love it. I love the idea of being able to push the manufacturers that I believe in, but I also don't want to kill myself. You know what I mean? Like, I want to function and I want to keep loving metal detecting. So as long as we can figure out a way to put on events where we still love it and we still, we get to go home happy. That's why this ET hunt thing is going to be so awesome, because this is all just Jeff and I having a blast. We're like, we're going to have a spaceship and we're going to have an ET forest and we're going to have all these crazy silver ET coins and like crazy galaxy themed Nocta amphibios. You're like, what? It's the best. It sounds like the coolest thing ever. And it's nothing like anyone else has done. So, I mean, as long as we can continue to do things like that.
We wanted to have fun with this. So, I mean, I guess the way I leave it, with that is, no matter what Nathan does, I mean, Nathan is the pound the ground guy. He's the one that wanted to do pound the grounds. Him and I have kind of become the face of pound the ground now, that people recognize, or Rhode Island Relics, or whatever you may have. But there's a group behind us, of some really hardcore people that make these events happen. People often overlook some of the guys that really do the most work, and like, we've got Gene on our team,
He's
and
a beast.
he's amazing with just the way that he puts things together. I mean, this guy, he has all the lighting, the rigging, the this, that, and the other. I mean, you need something that you're like, oh, Gene, we need to. Oh, I got that. I got 5 of that. I got,
Right.
Like, he's an amazing guy, and his son Alex, who's on our team. These guys are workhorses, and
Brando, don't forget Brando. I mean,
and Brandon, who's been with me, who started me with the whole thing, is now joined our group. I mean, these guys are really dedicated to what we're doing. So, after this, whether Nathan wants to concentrate on, just doing his Europe thing, or Rhode Island Relics, the group of guys and I have discussed, I mean, we're going to still continue to do something. I don't know if we're going to call it Pound the Ground. It will be the Pound the Ground guys from Rhode Island Relics. But we may do some smaller things. If people want things, we may continue to do stuff. That doesn't mean that Nathan's not going to be involved. And it doesn't mean that we're not going to do another Pound the Ground if he's willing. So, but right now, I think, you're going to cool your jets for a little bit. And we're going to, if we do anything, we kind of went from super huge to something super unique, which is what we're doing now. And I think our next step is we're going to try to do some very small digs that are a little bit more intimate, with a very small amount of people on really, really good land. I think that's what the group and I are going to focus on with what we're doing next. So whether we call it pound the ground or not, who knows?
Well, that's awesome, by the way, there, Nathan.
They're showing off my Crotal bell.
Very cool.
I'm
Ding.
so jealous.
Love
I haven't
So,
found one yet.
I got a whole tray of them. This is my Crotal bell collection.
them.
Oh, and then look at this puppy. Look, I mean, it's only half of it, but mother of mercy. Look,
Oh, that's amazing.
That is.
not to cut Jeff's stuff off. I mean, he's, you know, he was talking very seriously about that stuff. I am going to take a little break. I think I need to take a break. I can't say for certain that I'm stopping Pound the Ground because, I mean, it's my baby. It is literally my baby. I've raised it from nothingness, you know, so I want to continue it as long as I can function, you know, so just keep it that way.
Well, I know all of us here wish you both the best of luck with, you know, obviously metal detecting, with health situations that are going on. You know, I guess when you can't do what you love to do, it sucks. So,
Right.
you know, I do wish you, you know, Jeff being quarantined and Nathan, you know, not being able to do it sometimes, you know, hopefully all this stuff passes us here in a couple months, and you know, we come out, maybe, I don't know, thought about this a little bit today. We come out with a little bit of a different set of priorities on what's really important and who you really want to be around, what you really want to do. You know, the materialistic stuff, you know, may not be that important for some people after we go through what we're about to go through. So hopefully we all come out pretty healthful, you know, and grateful for what we have. And just I hate to be so, I guess, somber at the end of this, but
No, man, we're in a tough time right now.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
let's
Very
be
true.
serious. We're in a real tough time with this virus, and you know, it's a scary time to be where we are. And yeah, we should be focusing on the most positive things ever. And right now, I'm very, very lucky that I have beautiful children who are healthy, and you know, and I've got metal detecting, and nothing is better than escaping in the middle of nowhere with no one else. You know.
That's and we shouldn't say anything else. That's how you end you know, a panel like this. So thank you very, very much. I'm going to post
Thanks,
the Zoom
guys.
meeting. Please
That
join
is great.
the after party. Please join us
Come to the
after
party.
And we're
Pound the Ground
so
music.
grateful, Jeff, that you came on, Nathan, that you came on. We wish
Thank you.
great success with the Pound the Ground light that's coming up. It will be held, just a matter of when. So thank you.
Yep. We'll keep everyone updated.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
That
Thank
was
you, guys.
awesome.
Well, we are going to end here in 5, 4, going to the after party, 3,
Come to the party.
2, and